What about the Avengers? What about Marvel? Like, in the Marvel world?
AJ,
Yeah.
I'm looking through my games now. Persona would be an interesting one.
Persona.
Code
Is that
Vein is
interesting if you got a Persona. It would
yes.
be too interesting if you didn't.
Depending on unless it's Persona 5. Then you would still at the bare minimum get to interact with the Phantom Thieves in some way. You get to be Joker's friend.
What about Assassin's Creed?
Code Vein is like an endless hell.
Assassin's Creed is basically real life without too much difficulty. Code Vein would be an endless hell.
Code Vein is a literal endless hell. It's just Dark Souls, except your life carries on.
Ain't that like the Super Vampire? I've seen it on PlayStation.
Code Vein is just anime vampire Dark Souls.
I wouldn't mind being in the Destiny world. As long as I got a ghost.
Are you serious?
I will not be in fucking Destiny. Fuck that shit. They got bigger bosses every goddamn time you defeat one. You got one coming out damn fucking out of nowhere, the other one bigger than the other one.
I say it'd be an interesting life.
I don't give a damn about my powers. Fuck that. Every got a bigger boss coming out and another bigger boss. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Splatoon would be a chill world.
Bro.
You'd never have to worry about any problems.
Imagine swimming in paint.
Go back to the lobby.
Yeah, I already went back to the lobby because I was looking through I was going to look through my games.
What are they? They're octopus, right?
Some of them are. There's octolings and inklings.
What's the difference?
One is an octopus, the other is a squid.
Oh. They're pretty much the same thing.
Sort of, but they're still different races.
Yeah, but maybe it should.
There is a little bit of racism at first, but that's already dealt with in the current point in time. It was just octolings and inklings. Like, some of the octolings were called octarians and they were evil, but that's like sorted out now.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, now the octolings are all chilling on the surface. They're friends with the inklings. Everything's all good now.
Would you live in a Marvel world? I'm talking about the Marvel universe.
No.
Mm.
Because your universe is in constant threat of just being destroyed.
No, you have how many superheroes?
It don't matter. None of them superheroes. Like, you got people like Galactus, and Galactus isn't even a major threat. You got people like Thanos running around.
Thanos ain't even that bad. He ain't even one of the big threats.
The anti-monitor?
He is one of the big threats, though.
No,
he's not.
It's the
Galactus
worst.
is an actual threat.
Mind you, the only reason why Thanos ever loses is because he gets in his own way. Thanos is an actual threat.
Actually, that's only in the MCU. In the comics, he is very different.
Yeah, he's literally
Thanos is still a threat in the comics.
Sort of. Just about everyone has single-handedly beaten him at this point.
Bro, I feel like the DC is fucking worse. I would never live in fucking DC.
DC would be hell, especially with the Batman
Feel much safer in the MCU
happened.
than DC.
Oh, absolutely. MCU is far safer than DC. The DC just had the literal Batman Who Laughs apocalypse, where they went around to every universe murdering people.
Yeah, I said fuck that. I will never ever step.
Not to mention deceased and Marvel zombies exist, and they were just going through universes and dimensions, turning people into zombies for shits and giggles.
You saw the one on Disney Plus, What If, the Marvel zombie one.
Oh, that one was cool.
Yeah, I liked it, but I don't like. It wasn't as. It wasn't what I expected.
That one was not even close to as bad as the one in the comics. Like they literally dimension hopped to kill people and turn them into zombies.
You know about Peter Parker went to his other world. He started eating the fucking villains and shit. And the villains started eating.
Dude, Sandman fucking killed the normal Peter Parker from the inside out because he thought he was a zombie.
Yeah, I saw that. I said, oh.
Like the Marvel zombies is fucked. Let's see, Neptunia? No. Ratchet and Clank might be cool.
Tekken. You can see some living in Tekken.
Yeah,
What about
I could
Ratchet
just
and
get
Clank?
Jumped by somebody? Yeah, man. Nah.
I could never live in Ratchet and Clank. I don't give a fuck. I'll live in Ratchet and Clank. That what I can go through.
Hey, Ratchet and Clank,
I'd
you're
live
pretty
in
much
Ratchet.
chill. Ratchet and Clank, like 90% of the population, no one gives a fuck about.
I'll live in Ratchet and
So you
Clank.
chill. You good in Ratchet and Clank. Bayonetta. You fucked.
Damn.
You fucked if you go there.
The chick with the angels and demons.
I mean, as long as you don't mess with Bayonetta, you're good. As long as you stay the fuck away from her, you're probably good.
Yeah. I would definitely not live in Mortal Kombat.
Oh, Mortal Kombat would be hell.
Yeah, bro. I would
Especially with the constant wars and shit.
Mm-hmm.
We have not found many worlds that would be fine to live in.
It's because they all have some, like, world-ending threats or such.
We found like 3. Gundam, you're pretty much safe as long as you're not a part of the main cast.
Yeah, I'm not in Transformers, bro.
Transformers would suck unless you were in the early cartoons.
I think it'd be straight until you gotta fight fucking the subject.
Final Fantasy would be ass.
How
Final
bad is
Fantasy would be fucking hell.
How bad is it?
Hmm?
How bad is Final Fantasy?
Well, actually, a lot of the time, the main, like, any random civilians, as long as you're not in an area that's inevitably going to get disasterized for plot, you good.
I know, bro. What Doom.
Doom is...
World is
you
already torn up
stupid?
in Doom. What are you supposed to do in Doom?
What,
That's
what
like-
you...
Doom would be considered one of those, like, disaster level threat worlds. That's up there with Berserk.
That's
No.
what...
That's where
No.
with Berserk
Oh,
and Attack
I
on
was gonna
Titan.
say
Like,
that
those level of threat worlds where it's just like, you wouldn't survive.
Yeah, it's not as bad as God Eater, but it's pretty fucking bad.
That was a human problem
I
because
would put it up there with God Eater.
Dude, God Eater is... Like, if you are not a God Eater, you are not living.
but you gotta
You
think,
can't
bro.
win in
And the
any of
actual
those worlds
surgery-
anyway.
And the
You
actual
can't
God
win
Eater
on an Attack
surgery...
on Titan.
The actual
Bro.
God Eater surgery isn't even guaranteed for life. You can die during it.
It's not even guaranteed that you would become one.
Yes,
about Resident-
exactly. And that's literally your only chance at survival. And that ain't even guaranteed unless you got plot armor.
You gotta think. Doom was a human problem because people were fucking around with shit they haven't. That could easily be avoided.
Not to mention, God Eater is straight up on an endless down spiral because that can never be recovered from because the monsters constantly adapt and get stronger.
Yeah.
And that might be in the same world as Code Vein.
What about
So
Resident?
Resident Evil, you-
workable.
Bro, I don't think it's that fucking bad.
You
I
could
could
live
work
in
with
Resident Evil.
Evil.
You could work with that. You could
I
work
feel
with
like
that.
you would have to join one of the companies, though. I
Yeah.
feel like you'd have to be a part of one of those.
If you were gonna do that, you might want to be like best friends with Leon.
Just give me Leon, Chris, one of them motherfuckers. I'll be
I'd
straight.
say best
If
friends
you
with
stuck
Leon,
with
Chris,
Chris,
or
you
one of
gonna
them ain't
die.
trust.
You staying with Chris, you die.
You stay with Leon, you ain't in no better spot.
No. Leon hasn't lost anyone that was actually with him. He protected Ashley. He protected Helena.
What about the people that brought him? Each group of people that was ever seen to bring him there died.
Yeah, but they also left his vision.
Drew died before they even made. Yeah, they left his vision and they died. Mind you, they didn't even leave his vision. He left them and they stayed behind. He come back out the house and they dead.
Skill issue.
They were probably more heavily geared than he was.
No, they actually weren't. They didn't really have any gear. Not to mention they weren't fucking Leon.
That's their own thing.
You wanna know another world that would be hell to live in? Shin Megami.
What's that?
Basically,
It's
the equivalent
Persona
of-
on steroids.
Yeah.
Except everything wants is holding a gun to your head.
Everything's goal is to indeed kill you.
Everything wants to kill you. In the other worlds, if you just didn't piss them off, you'd be good. But no, everything just wants your head on a stick because you existed wrong. The world ends with you.
I don't know enough about it to make it.
So it's like a better version of our world. And if you die, you get a second chance at life. Like if you die from like a car accident or something, you get the chance to play a game to come back to life. That's like the whole plot is you play the game in order to survive and go back and come back to life.
I'm assuming if you screw up on that game, that's it.
Yeah, pretty much. But the game also only happens if, you die by some crazy means. As long as you aren't stuck, as long as you're like either a part of Neku or Rendo's teams, or you aren't in their games at all, you're good. Because only one team can win.
Fine to me.
Only one team can win. I almost said Yu-Gi-Oh, but no.
Why?
That is the first sign that someone has never seen Yu-Gi-Oh a day in their life.
Yo, I don't think it'd be that bad, man.
Motherfucker, you're dealing with monsters, demons, people who will kill you for losing a card game.
You play your cards right, then you have no worry about it, bro.
Right, except you're stuck with whatever booster box the world is set on.
What about Fallout? Fallout.
That literally is an apocalypse.
Yeah, that's like
literal.
That is literally Doom level, just in the apocalypse. What's your point?
I don't see it being that bad though.
It's not as bad as Doom. As long as you're lucky and one of the people.
Man, when you see a human-sized cockroach come running at you, you tell me how you feel.
That's fair. You want to fuck with the roach? You'd fuck with the roach.
The only thing next would be like, what if you saw a human-sized like spider walking around, bro? I'm telling
good.
you, I see that, I'm good.
At that point,
Whatever
I'd rather
they
deal
say,
with the
man,
monster
whatever.
Misumi spiders.
Hey, what about God of War? I feel like,
God of War? No.
bro, he had every right to kill each one of them ignorant motherfuckers. He had every right.
Yeah, he had every right, but guess what? In him doing that, he literally killed everybody in the world.
Bro, but I would honestly would glad to live in that world, bro. I don't
wouldn't
care.
want to be a god, bro. But I'd only live a good life if I wasn't a god. But then Kratos would just kill me.
No, he wouldn't, because if you didn't have problems with him, and you stay out his way, then he won't fuck with you.
World
He didn't
ended
kill
any
god,
though.
because he didn't just kill any god, bro.
Because he released Pandora's box. You turn evil.
Yeah, but
because he opened Pandora's box, it wasn't like each of the gods were evil outright. I mean, they did bad things, but it was not like any of them had it out for him. They had it out for him when he opened Pandora's box and evil entered them. And it's not like the gods technically did wrong. That was Kratos' fault. If he never would have opened Pandora's box, they never would have been like that.
FNAF. Yeah. Hey, AJ, you want to live in FNAF?
Listen to what?
Five Nights at Freddy's, bro? Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Well, FNAF isn't so bad so long as I don't work there.
Yeah.
I'll burn the whole goddamn fucking place down. That's just the only way it's gonna happen, bro. You're not gonna sit there and tell me that shit bad. The only thing bad about it is the damn restaurant. And that dude's a serial killer. I'm just burning the whole shit
down. Not to mention the people
actually. So long as you're nowhere near Five Nights at Freddy's location.
Well, the other issue is the people there are fucking psychotic.
Yeah.
The people in that world are just outright psychotic.
I'm just gonna avoid that place. Or live near only live near it. Cause they had a game where the dude fucking followed the kid to his house. I said, nope.
Higurashi, no. Higurashi, just no.
Tigo.
Higurashi is an anime and a thing. It's called When They Cry. You know what ReZero is, right?
Yes.
Huh?
Now imagine a little girl has to go through that.
What?
Higurashi is if a little girl was Subaru.
That's not right. That's not right.
I'm serious. Except arguably more traumatic because she went through so much that she was mentally 30. She relived the same week so many times. She is now mentally 30.
That's fun.
Hey,
that's pretty fun.
I know this world where y'all will never ever outlast. Outlast.
Fuck it, sure.
Actually, no. Outlast honestly wasn't that bad considering.
Outlast? Yeah, no, man.
You can avoid Outlast.
Just stay away from the asylum. You good.
That and Outlast 2, just stay away from them, bro.
Yeah, just be sane and you good.
Like, don't go looking for trouble.
Have 2 fucking brain cells and you're good. Senran Kagura would be good. It's essentially just big boob ninja girls.
I don't know, bro. There's so many like places that you worlds that you go to that be on the level of difficulty. It'd be like, bro, living here would be so and so difficult. You know, in our world we have
Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts would be fine.
Kingdom Hearts would be okay.
Yeah.
The only problem with Kingdom Hearts would be if they ever came to your world specifically.
Yes.
If any of the Keyblade users just happened to pay a visit, that's when things would get bad.
Digimon would be fine.
Who?
Digimon.
Hell no, they're worse than fucking Pokemon. I'm getting an A on.
Digimon would be fine, man.
I'm just gonna shoot every animal.
No, Digimon would actually be fine because
Don't they still eat their Digimon?
Digimon?
Yeah.
No, they don't eat the Digimon.
Jesus Christ.
The Digimon eat them.
Delicacy. I'd eat some Digimon delicacies.
You would
Come
not
here,
be able to. You want to fight a T-Rex to eat some meat? Go for it, motherfucker.
Yeah, man.
There are Digimon who will give you French fries, sir. Why are you trying to eat a T-Rex?
I'm trying to run they pockets and run they hands. They ain't never met it like me.
There are literally fucking... There are literally Digimon who will just give you free shit. Just
And
literally...
I'd be trying to taste them. I'd be like, yeah.
They will give
my
you
dude,
free
you know,
French
me and
fries,
you were
and you
cool,
like,
bro.
nah, run hands.
Listen, will you live in Horizon?
Horizon Zero Dawn?
Yeah.
Or Forza Horizon.
Or like,
No, Horizon Zero Dawn.
No.
Horizon Zero Dawn?
Yeah.
Honestly,
Genshin.
it depends. No. I wouldn't want to deal with the crap that goes on in Genshin. That sounds like a headache and a half.
Yeah, Genshin would just be a pain in the ass. I mean, if you were one of the...
Everything I do in Genshin would just tick me off.
Yeah.
Because then you'd have to worry about your gods. You'd literally have to worry about your gods. Depending upon what region you are in. There's only like, 2 regions in there that their gods don't play a major role in what happens. And then technically, even in the Geo region, he still plays a role.
Not an active one.
Yeah, but he used to play an active role. He
Well,
sits
the other
back,
thing is,
he sits on the
he
side
pretty
now.
much just kind of screws off most of the time, though. He only steps in if it's necessary.
Nowadays.
Hey, what about Overwatch, though? Will you live in Overwatch?
Overwatch would be horrible.
I don't remember all the bad things that went down in Overwatch, because there's a major, like, storyline for how much crap is just wrong in that world.
There is a lot of shit wrong in that world.
No, think about it. It ain't really that bad.
I don't know.
There's no good thing to living in that world.
People like Zenyatta, who was basically Gandhi, and he got shot. Locked over in his head.
Kennedy treatment.
Because you got robots fighting for peace in that world. You got robots fighting for freedom. You have...
And they pretty much told you to fuck off.
Yeah. And people actually fight wars.
Crazy.
Like, it'd be on the level, like, you know, living in God of War would be interesting, but man, I wouldn't survive. Especially if we're talking about God of War 1, going up to before Kratos ends up in, like, Niflheim or something. Before he ends up in the other, pantheon. If he's still in that Roman pantheon, bro, nah, bro, you die. You actually just die.
Yeah, there's
One,
a lot of
Kratos doesn't
problems.
give a dang about what happened to anything that happened there. Because mind you,
no, Kratos' only goal in life was to fight.
And everything that happened to Kratos, you shouldn't feel sorry for him, because it's his fault. It's his fault. In the end, everything that happened to Kratos, going up until he reached that new pantheon, was his fault. When he got to the new pantheon, he was clear. He was clean of all his debts and everything. He started
and
off
he
a new
still
life.
chose
He didn't
war.
cause any issues with them. No, he didn't choose war. His wife chose war, and his wife dragged him into it. His wife drags him into all those conflicts in that game. That wasn't him choice. That was his wife. His wife knew everything that was going to happen, and she let it happen. She set it all up for it to happen.
Why?
His wife knew it was going to happen and knew everything. His wife could see the future.
Then
And see
why
how
did she
everything
do
was going to
that?
go down. Because that was how it was meant to happen.
Oh, shit.
Wait, what are you talking about?
He's saying Kratos' wife is a hoe.
No, she was.
She a bitch.
She knew what was going to happen, and there was nothing to. The future was going to happen regardless of if you want it or not. Because at the end of the day, you can't fight fate. You can face the fates, but you can't necessarily fight fate. It's going to go down.
Yeah.
Now, in most recent God of War, they've been trying to change fate. Now, depending upon how it happens, they're trying to play with fate and trying to, like, not get everything to happen. But at the end of the day, there's only a few things that are going to happen. One, Kratos has to die soon. Now, Kratos has seen another mural that says there is a future for where he doesn't die. But he basically becomes God. He becomes the leader of everything in that place. He basically becomes the god and he rules over everything. There's that branching side path, but we don't have any clue for how he reaches that side path.
Which means that's probably going to be the story.
Yeah. Probably.
Yo, so what series are they doing
They
next with God of War?
They also still have the original one where he dies to Atreus.
What mythology are they doing next?
Huh?
Mythology. What are they doing next for God of War? They already did Roman. They did
They've done
Norse
Roman
god.
and Norse.
And what else?
The only other mythology that he could possibly hop in is the Egyptian
Christian.
mythology. Yeah, he's just gonna go and kill Jesus Christ, bro. That makes for a great game.
Bro,
Let's
already
be
killed
realistic.
Zeus.
Yeah, I can see him being Egyptian. I can definitely see it.
It would have to be the Egyptian gods.
Or
I don't know.
What
Some of them
stopped him?
Egyptian gods don't play around, bro.
Oh, yeah, no, that's like Ra and shit, man.
Some of
It's
them
like Ra, Anubis.
Some of them people are just the ones that you just be
I'm
like,
not
you know?
about the
I'll
Indian
skip out
gods.
on that.
You don't see them doing Indian gods.
I see them doing that one. It all depends, honestly.
I can see them
There's
doing
another very big pantheon. I don't remember the name of that pantheon. My uncle told me it not too long ago, honestly, but I just can't remember the name of it to save my life.
What the hell?
That pantheon's big too. I think it's either the Indian or not even. I don't even think it's the
Does it
Egyptian.
have, like,
Maybe
4 or
it's like
5 arms?
Egyptian Indians. Yeah, man that has 4 or 5 arms.
You talking about the Indian god? That's like Rava
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah,
AJ,
those ones. That's another
He's like
big
the god
pantheon.
of destroyer.
Yeah, those
That's-
destroyer ones.
That was the Indian one. That's the Indian.
AJ, you know any other video games?
Damn.
What?
I was gonna say. I was gonna say hello neighbor.
That would just be our world. But with very confusing writing.
What else?
What about you, Will?
What do you
Well,
mean?
AJ thinks for a minute.
Games that
Oh,
I
I
can
got-
think
I
of
got
that
another
IPs.
Games
I-
or animes that you think would make decent worlds.
I got another one though. I got one. Mass Effect.
Or would be
Yeah.
interesting. Mass Effect, you just die.
Yeah, but I don't see myself winning in that shit. I can't see it.
not at all. Tales of
Man, bro, I
Arise?
would say some of the Final Fantasies would be okay, but nah, Final Fantasy in general, it's like world-ending threats. Every single one
7. I mean, no, not
of
7.
them have
15.
world-ending threats, almost.
15.
No, Metro Exorcist.
15. Yes.
With Noctis?
Yes.
No, you wouldn't want to live in that. What are
You
you
wouldn't,
talking about?
but that is one that you can survive in.
Which one?
You wouldn't necessarily live and be able to survive 15. Not if Noctis didn't come through. Shoot. Did you see the state of the world?
Right. But as long as you were in the main
Noctis
camp
went
and stuff,
into
you're good.
the chambers and aged up. Even then, they were losing the light in their world. They were running out.
And then Noctis came back.
Yeah, like 5 years later.
10.
10 years later. You have to. If I'm saying where you're probably going to pick up at is after that situation that goes down with Noctis. For the next 10 years, you have to basically, even if you knew going into it that you have to survive those next 10 years.
I'm just saying,
and mind
it's
you,
possible as opposed to the other Final Fantasies.
Yeah, bro. I'm gonna use
probably
real
get
quick.
put on the guard.
You hear me?
No, I am too weak.
You'd have to do a lot to survive a Final Fantasy game. That's like Final Fantasy 7, right? In Final Fantasy 7, man, bro, I'll tell you one thing. The world's already going to crap, right? That world's already on its own on a timeline.
7, you're just fucked. 7, you're
You're
just
screwed
fucked.
either way, because the world, it will die eventually. Because they're literally sapping the life out the planet. And then you got Mr. Sephiroth coming through. If Cloud ain't come through, Sephiroth will wipe the planet, bro. It wouldn't even be close. He'd wipe.
No, the planet would have been snapped out of existence in one foul swoop.
And then even after that, technically, I'm pretty sure all the Mako stuff was still going around. I don't think they really cleared that up.
Did they
I don't
not?
necessarily remember it. I don't think
If
they
they
cleared
didn't,
that up.
that's a big plot hole considering that was the point of the entire first fucking game.
It doesn't change anything. I don't believe any of that actually gets dealt with in the actual story.
They better deal with that in the... I assume they'll... If it didn't, they'll deal with it in the remake.
I doubt it. There's no even point to bring up the after story of that stuff. Because it's kind of like the after story of Noctis. The after story of Noctis, the world gets better after what Noctis does, but it took quite a long time for them to get...
No, there isn't. There is an after story for 7.
I think it took them a while for them to even rebuild after what happened with Noctis, after he came through, because light came back to the world after Noctis got rid of Arden.
Right.
So it costed his life. And let alone, he almost lost that fight the entire way through. It looked like it was a downward spiral.
Well, there's also an alternate timeline. Like, the DLC shows an alternate timeline where Ignis does it on his own and just prevents light from ever being lost.
You said who?
Ignis.
Who's that?
The main character. He's one of the main characters that rock with Noctis throughout the story.
Yeah, he's his like his guardian.
There's several things.
There's Pronto, Ignis, and M something? No, Gladio.
Yes. I don't remember which side story. I played the side stories for those games. Maybe it was something that you were supposed to watch.
I played all of them, but the 2 of them are canon. The Ignis one is non-canon.
The Ignis one is non-canon. The one
Ignis
where it shows where he loses his eyes. How he lost his eyes.
No, that part is canon, but it allows you to do a different ending to the game. Where Noctis lives.
I see.
Like, where Ignis just fixes everything on his own.
Yeah, no. What's even sadder is that Noctis' life, of all the Final Fantasy's characters, his was probably the worst. Had a terrible life. Not only did his wife die, right?
Oh no, Noctis just was given the middle finger. That's why I like the Ignis ending, because it gives him some sort of
redeeming qualities, even though the man really didn't have much to live for after all of that.
Well, no, that's not true. He had his friends.
He had his friends, but man, bro, that just compiles on to how much more Noctis has lost. He just lost one of his main people at that. Ignis, considering of everybody there, right? Ignis was always the closest one to being a big brother
for him.
Prompto knew him since they were children.
Prompto, his DLC gives him backstory on like just his existence.
Mm-hmm. He used to be a fat kid.
Not at all that. That is in the anime, but that is not what the DLC is.
Or no, he was a little lab baby? I don't remember the story.
He was a clone. He was made in a lab.
I remember, because you go to it in the story. You visited in the story.
You know the soldiers that Noctis kills?
Mm-hmm.
He's one of them.
Woody's clone.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then Gladio's story is literally just him doing a trial.
Yeah.
His is the worst.
Doesn't really shed on any light on who Gladio is.
To be fair, his backstory is explained, and there's not really much to delve on.
Yeah. Man, but them boys used to fight. Boys used to fight all the time. Be one of those things where it'd be like, dude. Shoot, they really used to fight after Ignis lost his eyes? Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that probably was one of my most disliked sections of the game.
Where they all just argued. And
you can choose to bring
a callous dick.
Yeah, there was a lot going on, bro.
To be fair, he did just lose his wife. And one of his closest friends lost his eyes. So there was kind of a lot of emotion going on. What about Slime?
Who?
Slime.
Who's that?
Reincarnated as a slime. What about that world?
I don't know what that is, man.
Yes, you do, AJ. That's Rimuru.
Who?
Blue-haired slime dude.
Oh.
What about that world?
Wait, what anime are we talking about? I lost track.
Reincarnated into another world as a slime.
I don't know.
What do you think about that world? How bad would that be?
Slime?
Especially if you're in Rimuru's town, because then you just get free life.
If you were with Rimuru, you'd be alright.
Oh yeah, no, if you're part of Rimuru's town, you're basically guaranteed safety for the rest of your life.
Well, I wouldn't say guaranteed. It's more like he will defend you.
He will defend you, and he can bring you back to life.
True.
Facts.
Well, he could stop you from getting your soul basically leaving. He could keep it all locked into an area until he could get you.
Hey, what
back
about Dr. Stone?
Dr. Stone would actually be pretty fun.
Yeah, no, I'm good off the Dr. Stone.
Yeah.
Dr. Stone would be fun, but if I'm not sure if y'all are watching the current new season. I don't know. Dr. Stone would be interesting, but there's no guarantee that you'd be one of the people who'd get resurrected.
There isn't, but again, we're assuming like you do.
If we're considering that you do, it'd be interesting, but do you really want to go back to a time where the closest thing to entertainment that you're getting is hitting a stick against a rock?
Okay, yeah, but you get Genma and Senku as entertainment. You don't need anything else.
Yeah, man, just a restarting of the world.
I mean, hey, that's pretty cool. And you don't have to worry about dying.
Yeah.
It's true. Death doesn't really have a great standard, especially if you're a statue. So long as they find all your pieces, though.
Yeah. And especially since, let's be honest here, they've had like one death, if
they
even in the main story. Like of the actual alive characters, they've had like a death, if even. You could even argue that that's not a death.
Man's been put in cryo sleep.
Yeah, he's just in cryostasis. That there has been no death. So you'd get to go adventuring with Senku, and death is not a problem unless you're a dumbass. And even then, Senku will probably carry you.
Well, Senku's already carrying, bro.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's why I said even then, if you are an idiot,
I think even if I was in that world, bro, I think I would have to make some changes. First off, Senku, he wouldn't do all that movement if I had it.
He wouldn't do what?
He wouldn't do all that movement. He wouldn't be allowed to move as much as he does. Because he'd be playing life. He'd be playing that risky line of, ooh, will I get killed this time? Will I get killed this time? How many more enemies will I make this time? Like, he'd just be playing life like that. And I just need him to understand, like, hey, man, look, I'm gonna be honest. If you die, things don't go back to normal.
He's not going to die, though. He's the protagonist.
Some of them can die, though.
Exactly.
That's fair. But you've also got Senku backing you up.
Senku backing me up gives me a pretty chance, man, but fixed stats. Like, my survival rate goes up pretty nicely, and I can appreciate that.
He's a big increase to survival.
He's a big pusher too, but like, once again, the only person I care for to have survive in the series is Senku. Everybody else literally die, but so long as he lives, there's still a chance.
Right. Because that's like his whole shtick.
Which is what I would have to get everybody to. I'd have to get everybody to understand that.
I think you'd need Genma at minimum.
I don't think so.
Because Genma is. Don't forget, he does act.
Genma is basically a strategist, but is also the realist of the.
Right. And he's like Senku's parallel, his opposite. He
almost make it balance. Opposite. He's
you
there.
Get what I mean? Like he's his balance. Like he's the balance.
He's there to basically help Senku pull off of his BS.
Right. Exactly. He's Senku's partner. We need him. We need him for the dumb shit.
I don't know, man. Senku was doing just fine without him.
Yeah, but he got a massive boost when he had him.
He did.
Plus, Genma's my favorite.
Fair enough. I'm just saying that for who, at the end of the day, there's only one main important.
Right, because if we're being serious here, Senku could
it.
probably figure out the solution to life if he felt like it.
Yes.
He could literally
man
bring you fuckers back to life if he felt like it, if he really tried.
Man is actually fixing everything that is wrong by his loneliness.
He is literally rebuilding society. Fixing death is not a difficult thing for him.
And that's all I'm trying to get everybody to understand, bro. Like, he is
the new Jesus.
He is leagues above everyone in terms of importance. He just outclasses you on every single point of the scale. Like, you can't outrank him.
The other thing is,
like, even
he has backup plans and has ways to communicate with people, no matter how smart they are, in order to show them what needs to be done.
Like, he even has a book, right, of stuff written down to get society moving, even if he does pass away.
Yes, he literally has contingency plans for if he goes down.
Of course, his contingency plan is another dude who's pretty smart. But even then, his contingency plans isn't Genma. His contingency plan is the other dude. I don't remember his name.
Oh,
but he's the guy from the village.
Yeah, his alien
He's his contingency friend. He's the contingency plan. He's who he banks everything off on.
He'd still need Genma to read it.
He'd need Genma to back him up. He'd need everybody there to back him up.
Without Senku, he needs everyone.
But it wouldn't be you've got to understand how bad
Senku was able to deal with everything on his own, but getting people helps further process, makes it easier, and speeds up. But if something happens to Senku, then everything gets halted and slows down exponentially. Because he's taking shortcuts.
I don't even consider exponentially to be the best way to describe it. It would be like unfathomably bad.
Oh yes, like they might not even have a chance after that. Because
society would keep moving, but the pace at which they would grow they're currently moving at an exponential curve. Without Senku, that exponential curve probably becomes linear.
I wouldn't say that, since the solution to bringing people back to life is still going.
Well, they know how to bring people back, but you gotta think.
But the issue is, if you lose Senku, you're losing two people, pretty much, too. Since you're also losing the dude in cryostasis.
The guy in cryostasis isn't that important in my opinion.
I mean, he is crazy strong, which would be a big help to Senku.
It would be big help.
It would be a big help in general, because immense strength.
But they have enough strong people to kind of outweigh him.
Yeah, but he could beat all of those strong people on his own.
To a certain extent, yeah.
He punched a lion and made them scared of him.
He did. But don't forget, the same person who put him there is still alive, and he is just sitting in a little prison cell.
Yeah. No, he's not.
Yes, he is. He's sitting in a little prison cell.
Wait.
That guy is still alive.
Oh, right, yeah, they're keeping him until they bring back the judicial system, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're keeping him alive specifically to punish him by law.
Him and the girl with him. So it's not like they don't have anybody to substitute him out with.
Oh, you mean that guy, the other big guy. Was he big?
It wasn't like he was him strong, but he was good with a spear. And he outdid him.
Oh. His second in command, dude.
Yes.
That guy. Yeah, that guy was a psychopath.
It's not even the fact that he's a psychopath. It's just the fact that that guy, all by himself, was simply just a threat.
Yes, he's still a threat.
He's still a threat, because if he gets out, he could easily become an issue again.
Yes. Oh, yes, and the girl, like, crazy assassin chick.
Yeah, who
was like gymnastic or whatever.
She willingly decides to follow him.
Yeah. So, that one would be good world. Hey, do you think any more?
No. I still gotta make some.
But I think that's a good place to end it anyway. It's 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
It's 2 in the morning.
No, it's not.
It is too.
It's 2 and I'm trying to give up.
We ended it right here?
Sure.
Alright. We good next week?
Maybe.
Alright.
Should.
Ninja.